Just over a week ago, on the morning of the terror attack, Israeli-American Shai, who does not want us to use his last name, took his family to the Shabbat services at his synagogue in New York City. What he heard shook him to his core.
We walked into synagogue, and a friend of mine said to me, "Hey, did you hear what happened?" And I said, "No." And he said, because I'm not with my phone usually, because I observe the Sabbath. So he says to me, they broke down the border in Gaza, and they have jeeps with terrorists that went all the way to Ofakim.
That news of Hamas and its evil killing more than 1,000 Israeli civilians, sending Shai, a dual citizen who already served his time in the Israeli military, immediately into action.
So Shai, for Americans back at home who are going to see you and they're going to meet you when they watch this, explain to them why, as an Israeli American, you chose to leave New York and come back here.
Well, I mean, a few people asked me, "But Shai, do you really have to go?" And I said, I'm actually 40, and I'm living in New York now, right now, relocating for work. So I said, actually, I don't really have to go, but I really have to go. It was very clear to me that I have to go join my friends, my unit. To be honest, the level of atrocity and how bad it wasn't clear to me when I decided to come back.
The terror attacks, a call to action for Shai, who felt the only thing he could do was leave the safety of his home in America, his wife, and 3 young children.
How did you explain that to them, and how difficult was it to leave?
To be honest, I didn't explain to them too much. You can't really explain to an 8-year-old. In fact, I hope to God that he doesn't see any of the footage, because it's absolutely horrific.
For Americans at home who don't have dual citizenship and they don't understand sort of the patriotism you have for your other country, Israel, what is it about what you saw in that synagogue that compelled you to come over here?
I love America. America is a part of me, but I'm also Israeli. And as a Jew living in Israel, and my grandparents are sole survivors of the Holocaust, the sad fact is that we have nowhere else to go. We have nowhere else to go. And, you know, this is our country, and we have to defend it.
As he now carries a machine gun, a weapon of war to defend his homeland, the innocent lives on both sides weighing heavily on his mind.
How do you explain to people at home who are seeing the images and they're seeing sort of, obviously, what the Hamas terrorists did, but they're also seeing the Palestinians who can't get out of Gaza, and they're dying, and kids are dying too. I know war is not fair, and it doesn't really make sense. How do you explain that? Because there are Palestinian Americans there too.
Yeah. So to be honest, I feel really bad for the Palestinians, because there are many Palestinians in Gaza that are innocent, that didn't do these attacks necessarily, that aren't. But Hamas is holding them captive for years. We've known this for years. And what's happening now is that they're not letting them leave. This is unprecedented. We're at war. And so we always try to minimize civilian casualties, always. That's the way we operate. But at the same time, we have to understand that they're not giving us another choice.
As the Israeli counteroffensive against Hamas rages on, Shai determined to fight for his home and his heritage, and wanting the world to never forget what Hamas did to innocent families and children.
You're ready to fight for Israel and ready to fight till the end.
The mentality is, we'll do whatever needs to be done. And so when something like this happens, especially the way it happened and how horrific it is this time, there's no question, and everybody's just doing whatever needs to be done.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app, or follow us on social media.